Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective. And today we're going to be reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, episode 9, I think. Don't call it a comeback. But before we get into that, into the blame game episode, I want you to like this video, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about my commentary, and subscribe to the channel. You might as well. You're already here. Go ahead and do that for me. So let's get into this review. We're just gonna talk, okay? We're just gonna talk because I felt like we were playing the blame game the entire time on this episode. And while I understand Miss Wanda is responsible for a lot of mess, I don't feel like we're pointing the finger at everybody in this scenario. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. I want to say I'm super proud of Stormy. So Stormy goes back to Mel to tell Mel what happened with Destiny in their conversation in the episode before. I'm so proud of Stormy, and honestly, she has me thinking. And every year I was doing this for a very long time. I was putting together a vision board, and so far, pretty much everything that I put on my vision board, I'm looking at it right over there from 2016, has come to pass. There's a couple things that I haven't hit, but Stormy's got me thinking that I need to go ahead and rework some more visions, make some more thoughts on what I want to do going forward and dream big. And so I'm super proud of Stormy, and I'm so glad I'm happy for what she's doing, and she's definitely motivated me to begin dreaming again and be mind mapping, right? Okay. So I'm gonna get all that out the way, get all the positive out the way. So Stormy told Melody that Destiny, now this was some old he said she said foolishness, right? Stormy told Melody that Destiny said that Mel made a beeline to Wanda. Now if you roll the tape back, that's exactly what happened. She made a beat. She said, "Hey Destiny, hey," and was like, "Miss Wanda out there, we about to go out there too." Finished up in the store and went right to Miss Wanda and was ready to start some mess, right? Miss Wanda with this show enough nasty food and all this other foolishness. Basically carrying on just like Martell was carrying on that day at Jalen's graduation party. So Mel says, "I disagree with that Destiny. I can't trust her judgment. She's been out of whack since she and I haven't been friends anymore." And I'm thinking to myself, Mel, good and goddamn well that's exactly what your ass did. Why are you gaslighting us? Like, that is the pure definition of gaslighting. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Wanda is right. 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 What I am saying is that day, Miss Wanda was minding her business, okay? And if you really wanted to start some mess with her, you should have called her on the phone. You should have got contact with her and met with her on your own, and not go down to Destiny's event and test shit up. Because if you really were trying to support black business like you say you were, you would have known that that was not the time, nor was it the place. But you didn't care about that. Okay? And so that's the reason why I'm saying that Mel was wrong and she was the one that started that foolishness. Okay? So I also wanted to point out that I'm looking at Stormy sideways, because Stormy, you go to Destiny, and while Stormy don't have to be Destiny's friend, she really doesn't. But Destiny did say to her, "Hey, listen, if you want us to have a good relationship, I'm going to need you to keep Mel out of it." But now that I think about it, I guess because she not trying to be Destiny's friend like that, she don't really give a damn. She gonna do her thing. So it looks messy, like at first glance, but I get it. Like, I have no ties to Destiny. I have no loyalty towards her. I don't need to. There's nothing I need to do. Okay, and I can go back to my friend Mel because she's my friend. And I'm gonna talk about it. It's messy, but I guess I don't know. I'm still looking I'm side eyeing Stormy. Proud of her, but I'm side eyeing her. Anyway, okay, so Tiffany she's on a video call. She is talking to a potential client. She has a company called Acclinate. I actually Googled it. I did my Googles. And it's a legit company. They did a YouTube video. She's partnered with this guy who's a PhD, and they're basically trying to encourage black people or people from different minority groups to be involved in more clinical research. And it is a really professional website that I looked at. My biggest issue or my biggest qualm that I will say is Tiffany. Girl, what are you doing on this show? Like, I don't feel like Tiffany should be associated with this show, especially with what she's got going on. She's a co-founder. She's listed as co-founder on Acclinate's website. Girl, you looking crazy, and I would never sign up to do any clinical research if you are on this show carrying on like the rest of these people. Like, girl, no, girl. I would not be a part of that clinical research problem. If I saw her and she walked up to me and was like, listen, we're doing some clinical research. We want to include more black people. I'm co-founder of this organization. You should be a part of it. And I go home and I'm like, oh, I'm on the fence. Let me think about it. I go home and I see her on this show. I'm going to be like, no, ma'am, y'all, that's not professional. Y'all not finna be fooling with my body in no clinical research. And y'all carrying on like that. Girl, you need to go. You need to not be on this show. You need to go. Because you're boring, number one. But number two, because professionally it looks crazy. It just looks crazy. So anyway, so Martell calls a meeting with everybody at the restaurant Cotton Row. I guess this is the same restaurant that they all met up with, probably in season 1 or season 2 of the show. And so when I tell you everybody was dressed up, let me tell you, Maurice pulled up in a Rolls Royce, okay? You know, Marceau had his little outfit. Tisha looks so pretty. Kimmy looks so pretty. They let me tell you, okay, baby, them own checks been clearing. Okay, looks good. Okay, they look good. They look really, really good. And so I noticed that as they were pulling up in the car, that where they were, so Kimmy and Maurice were talking in the car, and they were like, oh, I don't want to have the same energy that Destiny and Martell and Tisha and Stormy and all of them had. Maurice, include yourself in that list, because you're the first person to physically touch someone. You actually, I won't say that. I'll say Marceau was the first person to physically touch someone. But Maurice, you pushed Martell. You pushed him. You grabbed his hand and pushed him. You participated in that physical altercation just as much as everyone else is. And I saw how you like to keep your name out. And I saw how Kimmy also left your name out as well. That, I see this. Y'all don't want to be associated with the foolishness, but y'all were right in the middle of it. Okay. I won't say Kimmy, but Maurice, you were. So in the car with, I don't know why I keep knocking this. Oh my God, it's so annoying. So these M's, oh, so annoying. So Marceau, and Tisha. Marceau is basically nonchalant, right? I don't have an agenda. I don't have any expectations for this meeting. I don't care I care what happens as long as we just eat. And he's basically patronizing her. And when he started doing that, I said, watch, he gonna throw her under the bus and make her look bad at this dinner. And baby, that's exactly what he did. Okay, so they get to the dinner, they're all sitting down. Martell's he walks in like, I'm back with Mel, y'all. I'm back with Mel. We back. And I'm just looking at Martell like, ugh. I really want Melody to know how crazy she looks right now walking in with Martell. It's just ridiculous. But you know what? I guess they're gonna show that they're on a united front. Whatever, girl. I would not be wanting to unite nothing with him, but okay. So Marceau completely switched sides and embarrasses the hell out of Tisha and got her looking crazy. Okay. Martell opens up and says Wanda gotta go, and they're basically saying Wanda has been the mess starter, right? And I will be honest with you and say that I don't believe that Mel has gone tit for tat. I don't feel like Mel has gone tit for tat with Wanda. However, I do feel like if she had an issue with Miss Wanda, she should have pulled her aside. She should have talked to her outside of Destiny's event. Okay? That was my only issue. Mel had every right to go off on Miss Wanda and tell her about herself, but it should not have been at that event. And that's just that. So Marceau goes in and says, Miss Wanda's been the root of all of our issues. Martell says the same thing. She's the one that started pretty much everything. We've never come to blows. We've got all these outside forces. Tisha brings up the fact that, well, Martell was the one that said that, you mentioned that you were questioning the paternity of your children. Martell, you absolutely said that. And nobody turned around and said, yeah, Martell, you did say that. So I was so frustrated with this whole entire scene. So then Marceau goes in and says, yeah, Miss Wanda's coming at people unprovoked. She pretty much has come at everybody unprovoked. Talking about paternity is talking about your children. Pause. Marceau, you got into a physical altercation, yelling with Martell, saying Miss Wanda was not talking about your children. So how did you change your tune? When I tell you bros over hoes, you would rather side with an unlicensed Negro who will throw you under the bus for anything, okay? For anything. Than to side with your wife who you've been married to for 16 years? Marceau, you a different type of man. You a man I would never want nowhere around me. I tell you that right now. So anyway, so then they start, again, going in on Wanda, saying that she's caused all these problems and caused all these issues, when in fact it's been Martell. It's been Martell. He's the one that started the 20 girlfriends. Martell was the one, and Melody is back that. So Martell will start the fire. Melody will back it up. Okay? Martell will start a fire. He'll have somebody else back it up. Wanda back it up. Martell's the one starting the fires, and then somebody else is coming to back it up, right? That's really been the formula for all the chaos and the mess of this show. So then Kimmy brings up, well, let's be fair, okay? Y'all need to control Mark, right? Mark is the man that Ms. Van claims she hasn't dated. But Mark is on social media being very disrespectful, saying all kinds of things. And honestly, just between you and I believe Ms. Van lying. I believe that she and Mark have had a relationship, because it doesn't make sense. They go back to the reunion and they talk about how, Martell was like, didn't you travel 6 hours to go see Mark? She was like, no, I didn't. I never did that. And then Melody comes in and says, well, he's traveled too. So which one is it, Miss Van? Which one is it, Miss Van? You got too many holes in your story. So you just said that you never traveled 6 hours to go see him, but Melody just said that that he's also traveled 6 hours to see you, and that you have a room and he has a room as well. So which one is it, Miss Van? I know Miss Van lying. I know she lying. I bet she lying. I know she's lying. So Mark is online. He's saying all these things, and Kimmy's like, when are you gonna control Mark? And Mark is Marceau and Maurice's older brother, and they both are like, we can't control Mark. There's nothing we can't take. If we try to intervene into what Mark is saying, it'll get worse. So how do you have the expectation for Tisha to control Miss Wanda when y'all can't even control Mark? And I'm not saying that you should be able to control anyone. But again, how are we having this entire conversation about how Tisha needs to pull the reins on her mother, which, by the way, her mother does need to mind her own business, okay? But y'all are saying that it's next to impossible to rein in a broke-ass Mark, okay? Because he, quiet as it's kept, we heard he wasn't paying his own child support, okay? That was Miss Van paying the child support. Again, Marceau, you putting business out there, play that messy game. All of them play that messy game and then want to turn around and blame somebody else and try to seem like they holier than thou. And it gets on my last nerve. Okay, so then my thing is, if y'all don't want these people like the Wandas and the Marks to be going off on social media and carrying on and doing what they're doing, which they're doing it because people are attracted to the mess. People are wanting to draw a following. They're not on the show, so they're able. Well, Wanda is, but Mark is not. You don't think that he's not trying to gain his spot on the show as well? Absolutely. So he's gonna drum up as much attention as he can. So why are y'all not just leaving these people out of these people out y'all business? That's the only way. That is the only way that you'll be able to keep these people from carrying on the way that they do, is if you keep them out your business. Now, I don't know so much about Mark because Mark and Miss Van was fooling with each other, so I don't know. I don't know. But keep Miss Van out of it. Keep Miss Van, keep Mark, keep Wanda, keep all them people out of the mix. Okay? Again, I've already said this 1,000 times. It's Martell. He'll light the match and somebody else will run with it. He'll light the match and somebody else will run with it. Because they go around talking about how, us six, we've never had any issues. Us six, we've always been able to get along. Us six, we've been able to do. No, baby. And then they decide to create like a little pact of how they're going to have boundaries on social media. Nobody's going to be talking about each other on social media. Nobody's going to be, talking about children on social media. Between us six, and we're going to try to do the best that we can to control our loved ones from being on social media. Meanwhile, just a few months ago, maybe a few weeks ago, Martell and Melody dragging each other on social media. Like, it is just... It just never ends. It just never ends. And each one of them are just as messy as each other. They just as messy as the next. Just as messy, just as ridiculous, just as petty as the next. And they're each other's match. And because they're each other's match, it's always gonna blow up in a flame. And I'm tired, baby. I'm tired of arguing with these women who absolutely love Mel and don't see none of her flaws. I'm tired and tired and tired. When I tell you I'm tired, each and every one of them are each other's matches, and they literally light each other up every time they get a chance. Every time they get a chance. Anyway, so excuse me. So I'm interested to see the next episode to see the conversation with Wanda. Again, Wanda claims that when Melody said that Tisha's daddy be in her DMs, well, if you want to talk about baby daddies, let's talk about your baby daddy, because he looked just, the last baby looked just like that man you was fooling with. Now, again, I know I saw Martell put the man's name out there. He's an attorney. Martell put all of this out there, and then nobody turns around, points their finger back at Martell. Nobody does that. They just point it out at Wanda. And it's just craziness to me. It's absolute craziness. Now, Wanda messy. She wrong, but nobody points their finger at Martell and says that they're wrong, and says that he's wrong. You got Marceau backing him up, saying that he's a good guy and considering working with him. Again, all this foolishness when you know that Martell, again, there's nothing you cannot convince me. You cannot convince me or not convince me that Martell and Marceau don't have a pact. They have a pact. There's nothing, you can't tell me that they don't. I absolutely 200% believe that they do. Anyway, that's it. That is it. I will say that Love and Marriage Huntsville is probably one of the best reality shows out there. It has me so emotionally invested in this franchise. And when I tell you, I be in the comment section of other YouTubers just fighting with people. I be windmilling in the comments. Do you hear what I'm saying? Baby, I be in the comments windmilling with these women, because I can't allow you to sit up here and not say that Melody don't be in on that foolishness, right? Anywho, if you made it this far into the video, you might as well go ahead and like the video. Let me know your thoughts of the show. How do you feel about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Is it one of the best reality shows? Are you emotionally invested just as much as I am? What are your thoughts about Wanda, Martell, Mel, Maurice, Marceau, Kimmy, Tisha, Mark, Van, everybody? Let me know your thoughts down in the